Have you ever gazed at the night sky and wondered, how did it all begin? Today, we're diving into one of the most profound stories ever told, the creation of the universe as described in Genesis, the first book of the Bible. Long before time as we know it existed, there was God. The Bible opens with these words, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." Picture this, a vast, formless void, shrouded in darkness. The earth was empty, a blank canvas waiting for the master artist to begin his work. Day one dawns, not with the rising of the sun, but with the voice of God himself. "Let there be light," he commands, and instantly light bursts forth, piercing the darkness. God sees that the light is good and separates it from the darkness. He names the light day and the darkness night. With these simple yet powerful words, time itself begins its endless march. As day two unfolds, God turns his attention to the waters that cover the earth. He speaks again, this time creating an expanse to separate the waters below from the waters above. This expanse, which God calls sky, becomes a majestic blue canopy stretching as far as the eye can see. On day three, God's creative power surges once more. He gathers the waters below the sky into one place, allowing dry ground to appear. The earth takes shape, with continents rising from the seas. But God isn't finished yet. He speaks, and the land erupts with life. Lush grass, fruit-bearing trees, and plants of every kind. Each is designed to produce seeds, ensuring the continuation of life. Day four brings a spectacular display of celestial bodies. God creates the sun, moon, and stars, setting them in the expanse of the sky. These luminaries serve multiple purposes: to separate day from night, to mark seasons and days and years, and to give light to the earth. The sun rules the day, while the moon governs the night, accompanied by a glittering array of stars. As day five dawns, God turns his attention to the waters and the sky. With a word, he fills the seas with living creatures, from tiny fish to enormous sea monsters. The skies come alive with birds of every kind, their wings carrying them across the newly formed heavens. God blesses these creatures, commanding them to multiply and fill the waters and the sky. Day six arrives, and God's focus shifts to the land. He speaks, and animals of all kinds spring into existence. Livestock, creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals. But the crowning achievement of creation is yet to come. God says, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness." With special care and intention, God forms man from the dust of the ground and breathes life into him. He takes a rib from Adam and creates woman as man's companion and helper. Together, they are given dominion over all other living creatures. Adam was surrounded with everything his heart could wish. Every want was supplied. There were no sin and no signs of decay in glorious Eden. Angels of God conversed freely and lovingly with the holy pair. The happy songsters caroled forth their free, joyous songs of praise to their Creator. The peaceful beasts in happy innocence played about Adam and Eve, obedient to their word. Adam was in the perfection of manhood, the noblest of the Creator's work. Not a shadow interposed between them and their Creator. They knew God as their beneficent Father, and in all things their will was conformed to the will of God. And God's character was reflected in the character of Adam. His glory was revealed in every object of nature. God is a lover of the beautiful. He has given us unmistakable evidence of this in the work of his hands. He planted for our first parents a beautiful garden in Eden. Stately trees were caused to grow out of the ground, of every description, for usefulness and ornament. The beautiful flowers were formed of rare loveliness, of every tint and hue, perfuming the air. It was the design of God that man should find happiness in the employment of tending the things he had created, and that his wants should be met with the fruits of the trees of the garden. Fathers and mothers who make God first in their households, who teach their children that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, glorify God before angels and before men by presenting to the world a well-ordered, well-disciplined family. A family that love and obey God instead of rebelling against Him. Christ is not a stranger in their homes. His name is a household name, revered and glorified. Angels delight in a home where God reigns supreme, and the children are taught to reverence religion, the Bible, and their Creator. Such families can claim the promise, "Them that honor me, I will honor." As from such a home the father goes forth to his daily duties, it is with a spirit softened and subdued by converse with God. God looks at everything He has made and declares it very good. The stage is set for the unfolding drama of human history. On the seventh day, God rests from His work of creation. He blesses this day and makes it holy, establishing a pattern of rest that will be crucial for human flourishing. This account of creation in Genesis 1 isn't just a story of beginnings. It's a testament to God's power, creativity, and purpose. Each day of creation reveals something about the nature of God and His relationship with the world He made. First, we see God's omnipotence, His ability to create something out of nothing simply by speaking. This demonstrates that God is separate from and superior to His creation. Unlike other ancient creation myths where gods struggle against chaos or each other, the God of the Bible creates effortlessly and peacefully. Second, we observe God's orderliness. Creation unfolds in a logical sequence, from light to sky and sea, to land and plants, to celestial bodies, to animals, and finally, to humans. This orderly process reflects God's nature as a God of order, not chaos. Third, we witness God's goodness. After each act of creation, God declares it good. This affirmation of the inherent goodness of creation stands in stark contrast to some philosophies that view the physical world as evil or illusory. Fourth, we see God's purpose in creation. Everything is created with a specific function. The sun and moon to mark time, plants and animals to reproduce after their kind, humans to have dominion over the earth. This purposefulness suggests that our lives too have meaning and purpose. Fifth, the creation of humans in God's image reveals our unique status in creation. While we are part of the created order, we also stand apart, bearing the divine image and given the responsibility to care for the rest of creation. He who gave Eve to Adam as a helpmeet performed his first miracle at a marriage festival. In the festal hall where friends and kindred rejoiced together, Christ began His public ministry. Thus, He sanctioned marriage, recognizing it as an institution that He Himself had established. Lastly, the establishment of the Sabbath rest shows God's concern for the rhythm of work and rest in human life. It's a reminder that we are more than just producers or consumers. We are beings created to find our ultimate rest and purpose in relationship with our Creator. As we reflect on this ancient account of creation, we're invited to see the world around us with new eyes. The intricate design of a flower, the vastness of the oceans, the complexity of the human body. All these bear witness to the creativity and power of God. Moreover, this story challenges us to consider our place in creation. As bearers of God's image, we have the privilege and responsibility to care for the world He has made. How are we stewarding this gift? Are we treating the earth and its creatures with the respect they deserve as God's handiwork? The creation story also reminds us of our dependence on God. Just as the universe came into being through God's word, our very existence depends on His sustaining power. This realization should foster both humility and gratitude. The presence of Christ alone can make men and women happy. All the common waters of life Christ can turn into the wine of heaven. The home then becomes as an Eden of bliss, the family, a beautiful symbol of the family in heaven. Finally, Genesis 1 sets the stage for the grand narrative of the Bible, a story of creation, fall, redemption, and ultimate restoration. It's the opening chapter of God's love story with humanity, a story that continues to unfold today. In the first chapter of the book of John, we read, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not." As we close our exploration of Genesis 1, let's take a moment to marvel at the world around us. From the tiniest atom to the largest galaxy, all of creation bears the fingerprints of its Creator. May we, like the psalmist, declare, "The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands." In the story of creation, we find not just the beginning of the world, but the beginning of our story. A story of purpose, meaning, and divine love that continues to shape our lives today.